It's the 3rd of August 2023 and yeah, no, I'm not drying my clothes in my greenhouse. I just put this in here out of the rain because it was lying outside. Now, we've got problems again this year. Small greenhouse. Last year it was aphids. This year it's kinda aphids. A little bit. And this peri-peri was a little bit infested with them the other day. It doesn't seem to be doing it much harm because apart from the fact that it had aphids, it looks like it's the healthiest plant in here. This is my guajillo. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is a lot smaller than it really should be, this plant, and all of the leaves are turning this sort of dank, less vibrant green colour. Coco's inspecting it. The fruit seems to be okay, although the guajillo has been quite troublesome this year on another plant which I have in the big greenhouse over here, which I will just show you in a minute. This is a volunteer tomato that grew here that I just left. It came out of this compost, which is from last year and the year before, and there was a lot of tomato plants and tomato detritus, etc. put into there. To get back to the problems though, this is a padron, and there's only 2 buds that are on it just now, there and there. I've had some fruit off of this, but there are absolutely no more flowers coming on it. And it did have a couple of aphids here and there, as you can see. But that's not really the problem. I think the problem is the soil. Hi, Coco. Stop digging. Good. Good. I don't think it was Coco digging either that caused the problems. This here is a white jalapeno, which I'm kind of disappointed in. I should have actually planted more of these. I've only got like 1 or 2 fruits on this. But again, this one's going the same way. We're getting a lot of drop off, etc. And everything gets watered in here, not excessively. I don't feed in here because it's in the ground, obviously. Nothing should really need fed. I mean, the squash plant over there is doing fine. This one's starting to come good. It went that kind of dank green colour as well. This is an ajvarsky, it's a sweet pepper. I think I might get 1, if I'm lucky, off of that plant. And over this side we have the Lesia, which is another sweet pepper, and it's the same way. I mean, if you look at it, they're just not healthy at all in here. So next year, this is the Moruga scorpion, and you can see that they're like lime green leaves. They're not supposed to be that colour, they're supposed to be that colour. That's enjoying it, but these aren't. So I thought that one was doing so well. I mean, if you look back at earlier videos in the season, I was actually quite hopeful that that would come good. But unless it starts getting some colour back, it finds some nutrients in the soil, I don't know. I might fix it. I might put some of the chili, organic chili fertiliser on the ground and see what happens. But dogs, who would have them? Come on, back up, back up, back up. This is the Jolly Negro, and this is a success story this year because all 5, I think I've got 5 of these plants this year, and all of them are doing really well and really healthy and producing beautiful fruits like that. They're really nice. So, I mean, they're going to go with my poblanos and my guajillos. This one here is my cross. So this is I took 2 right ones off of this yesterday, and even though this one's kind of going the same way, the lime green sort of leaves and stuff, it's still producing all these prolific fruit and stuff. But I think that's just because it's an F1, so it's like, F1s always kind of do that, don't they? You know, when you do a first cross. So this is like I said, this is the first generation of the cross, and it's doing really well. So I've had 2 right fruits off of that one and 2 right fruits off of another one up that way. The red habanero as well seems to be defying whatever it is that's getting to these and enjoying itself because it's got lots of fruit. It's spreading out nicely. These don't spread out high, I find. And there's fruits in there. There's a nice big one. A couple of nice big ones actually in there. So it's doing well, inexplicably. This is one of the pubescents. I can't remember which variety it is. I think it's the one I got from Real Seeds, which is Alberto's Locoto. And they, I don't know, maybe it's not doing that great. A bit of drop off, as you can see with that one. So I don't know what the issue is with that. It got off to a slow start, and then it sped up and it shot up a little bit, but then it kind of died back down again. So it's maybe kind of suffering from the same ailment, maybe, that some of the other chilies have. Some of them are stronger than others, you know, maybe. I don't know. I'm not an expert. If anybody knows how to kind of treat this, especially this padron, where it's got the flower drop off, and even when the buds form, so it gets a bud and the bud falls off. As you can see, absolutely no flowers. If anybody knows a way to remedy that, apart from maybe trying to give it a little bit more fertilizer or whatever, then let me know in the comments. Right, over to the big greenhouse. So, big greenhouse. I don't know what it looked like the last time we were here. Brazilian starfish certainly is probably an indicator of time, because the way it grows, I mean, that's probably about 5 foot now it is. And it'll still grow a little bit more. I mean, by the end of the season it'll have got up to the top there, I would imagine. And it's got some fruit coming on it now. I'll go over and have a look at it. The first fruit on it doesn't look very happy and healthy, but the ones that are following certainly do, and there are lots of them coming on it now, lots of little ones, and lots of buds and flowers, etc. So that's good. I really enjoy growing these ones. I grow them every year. The peppers are just so sweet. It's so nice to eat. They've got a decent heat on them, like about jalapeno level, but you know, the taste of them is unbelievable. Very fruity. This is my other cross. As you can see, this one is a lot better, a lot healthier. And it also has just as much fruit. I've had one ripe one off of this one so far. This is the other one I've had ripe ones. And as you can see, fruit is doing exceptionally well. Looking really good. And I've saved seed from 4 of these so far, 4 of these that I've pulled off. And I have tasted them, and they taste like very sweet cayenne, which is a bonus. You know, they taste very good. They look very good. Everywhere I go, it's like glue. This is the Chihuahua Negro that's in here, and as you can see, there's a lot of fruit on this as well. Now I only grew these ones before, and it was 2 years ago, and the plants were in here. There are 2 of these plants in here. I think maybe they got a little bit drowned out, but they only produced probably, I think I got 5 fruits in total, but at this moment in time, these look like they're doing fantastically well, and I'm going to get a lot of fruit off of them. This is the problem plant. This is the guajillo that had issues the other day. I think I left one of them on the plant just to illustrate the difficulties I'm having, but I can't find it now. What's been happening is that the pests, clip shears as we call them, earwigs as other people call them, are finding these very tasty, and they're nibbling holes in them, and then they're starting to rot. Look, there you go, there's one. Prime example. I'll take that one off. It's no good. It'll just rot away to nothing. If you see that, yeah, so the rot's already started on that one. It's quite bad. And the next stage is that just caves in and the whole thing goes soft and horrible. And so I'm just taking them off as I find them. And the other ones aren't doing that. There's nothing, no other damage on the other chilies, so I don't know if that's maybe isolated to this particular batch of seeds. Maybe this was from a disease. These seeds were from a diseased plant already. But we have had the insects kind of nibbling at them, as you can see the little holes. I don't know if they're nibbling at them because they're going soft and rotten, or they're actually causing the softness and rotten to happen. And that's a shame, because that's a beautiful big fruit. That would have ripened nicely into a very usable chili. So throw that outside now, that'll go in the composter. Another one that I've grown, I know a couple that I've grown this year actually, for the first time. Very healthy, producing lots of fruit. These are for fluorescent scarlet. These are from fattening seeds. And oddly, as you can see, some of the fruits exhibiting very weird growing habits, very strange shapes. So I think these are probably that's probably reverting to whatever they were created from originally. God knows what they were. Although, they look kind of like the purple pumpkins. which are over here. Purple pumpkins. Now these are a mystery because I cut them open, I smell them. They smell kinda florals. I would have said that they were more kind of a cross between an onion and a baccatum, probably at some point in the past. But some people list them as chinense, but they don't smell anything like chinense. They don't smell like habaneros. You know how chinense have a very distinct sort of perfumey, fruity smell. They don't smell like that at all. So I'm unconvinced that that's what they are. This is probably the most beautiful plant I've grown. Now it used to be fish pepper that held this title, but this is my jigsaw, and this is the first time I've ever grown them, and I just love these leaves, the colours in them. The fish pepper has got sort of variegated leaves as well, but they're kind of like shades of green and white, but these are shades of green and white with purple flecks. It was a better leaf to illustrate it. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. I've got another variety like that I'm growing, but not in this greenhouse. It's over in the others. It's a tricolour it's called, and that came from Fatali as well. This one here also came from Fatali. This is a Montufar. It is a Capsicum pubescens, and if we look, we have some nice little fruit coming. So this is the first time I've ever grown pubescens. I've got two different varieties. I've got 3 plants, I think. I've got 2 of these Montufars and one of the Alberto's Locoto that's over there. And this is the only one that's so far that's got any fruit on it. And so I'm enjoying that. That's quite a lot more now. I thought there was only the one, but I can see more now coming. I can see one way at the back over there. In the distance, this here is a lemon spice. It's a jalapeno variety. This was from Real Seeds, or no, not Real Seeds. This was from Rare Seeds, or Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. They've always got great varieties of stuff. Lots of interesting things. I go there mainly for the squash because they've always got really good varieties of squash, but they also have some really nice sort of unusual pepper varieties as well at times. And at the moment, that's the only place I could ever find that have fish pepper seeds. So when I need to replenish them for any reason, that's where I go. These are my favourite sweet pepper. These are Dew de España. As you can see, sweet peppers aren't usually this prolific. You know, you only, sometimes you, and especially in pots, you usually get like probably 3 or 4 and they're small. But these just keep dishing out these massive sort of fruits. And they get very long, they get very fat, and then they change colour by degrees, and it's very nice to sort of catch them when they're sort of half red and still half green. It's very, very beautiful looking fruits. And I grow these, well, I tried to grow these last year, and they grew in the polytunnel, and they were actually very nice in the polytunnel. We got quite a lot of them, but they suffer from a bit of rot late in the season. And here we go, here's that earwig / clip shear damage. They eat their way in. I don't know what they're trying to do. They don't seem to eat the fruit. They just dig these holes in them and then they go inside them. And sometimes when you pick off the fruit, they sort of go, they panic and they run out. But yeah, that's a shame. Another waste of a pepper. Thank you, Mr. Clipshear. I can go over there with the guajillo. Don't eat it, Coco. Don't eat it. I'll give you a bad day. This is my puma. And I have fruit on it now. Let's get down to the bottom here. We'll dig our way through the jungle. And there we are. Lovely little fruit there. These are amazing. This was my old favourite variety of pepper in terms of ornamental, because I mean, plants are beautiful. They don't know whether to be green or purple, and the fruit's the same. The fruit comes out green and purple before it ripens, and there you go. This is a better example. And when that ripens, the green parts turn bright yellow, and the dark parts turn brown. So you've got this beautiful thing that looks like almost like a boiled sweet. Doesn't taste like a boiled sweet. It tastes like something boiling, but just not sweets. This is my Armageddon. Now, Armageddons always take a little while because they insist on growing these big, long stalks with these big, massive, chunky leaves before they do their split. And when they do the split, when the branches split like this, rather than just sticking one fruit out, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 fruits come out. And they all come out really nice. Once it gets to this stage, the fruits don't just grow, they mature really rapidly, so you get really mature fruit really quickly. And they are super hots. And I have some in a vacuum ferment bag up the road that I'm going to make a sauce with one of these days when I'm in the mood. So that video will probably come up one of these days soon. I've got all new camera equipment. I'm just learning how to use it before I start doing another video, in case anybody's wondering why I haven't done one of those for a while. This is a Haloro. Now, I'd say it's a Haloro, but it's not a Haloro anymore. This cross was something last year. I don't know what, and I'm guessing because it was right next to a Padron that it crossed with a Padron. So it still feels like a Haloro. They still taste like Haloros, but they look like Padrons. And as you can see, it wasn't a great cross because we're getting all these sort of deformities on them, which is interesting. I like all that stuff. There's another one. It's got ears, look at that. Wow. If I have to give a name to this variety, I think that's going to give me some ideas. Anyway, Zimbabwe Black. This is the only one of 2 frutescents, and they're both next to each other, that are in this big greenhouse. I'll find an example, a decent example of one of the fruits. There's one there. Really nice sort of deep black, deep purple should I say. And when they ripen, they sort of turn red, but they retain a little bit the sort of purple around the edge, sort of like an outline. So no matter which way you turn them, you can the outline is still kind of purple, even though the fruit's red. It's a really nice effect. It's quite strange. This is Tabasco. First time I ever grew it. Finally getting some fruit coming on it now. That's quite good. I might make some Tabasco sauce, try and imitate it. I know it's probably not hard to do. Oh, he's not got a coke habit or anything. I don't know what he's smelling. Can anybody explain dogs to me? Specifically Jack Russells. Nope. Coco, I'm talking about you. Right, we're going over the other allotment. Come on, let's go. And here we are in the big glass greenhouse. Now, I made a mistake this year. I planted 2 cucumbers, I planted 2 squash plants, and an aubergine. I don't know if you can just make it out right on the tip of my finger. That's the aubergine. The tip of the aubergine just managing to fight its way through the squash plants. And I can't complain about them really, because they're doing really well. I need to move all of this stuff out the way. The other day I was just down here inspecting my fish pepper. She's doing really well. There we go, there's the variegated leaves. I don't know, does anybody want to adopt a dog? Get out of the way, Coco, come on, shift. And I had a look down the back of it, and I saw that. There we go. It's a beautiful big sucrine dewberry squash plant. Anybody who's interested in squashes, that one also came from Rare Seeds, Baker Creek heirloom seeds in America. Although I think you can get them here. But when I was actually looked at that one, and then I pulled back some leaves, I saw another one. So I'm going to get plenty eaten out of the squashes this year anyway. Now, in here, squashes, as you can see, they went from here, they spread right through the middle. You can see some butternut squashes coming, which is good. I don't mind that. But they're getting in the way of some of my chilli plants. I've been having to cut leaves off. For example, this one here, it's been a little bit stunted. This is my this is a Bengal Naga. It should be a lot bigger than that, but it's been kind of shaded out a little bit by the plants, by the squash plants, and they grow so fast. It's really hard to, you know, to keep on top of that, trimming them back, etc. But in here I also have all these little 5 litre pots. Now these 5 litre pots, as I've explained before, were just stopgaps so as I could plant these plants into them. I think there's 20 of them in here. That's why it looks so crowded. It's not really as crowded as it looks. It's because these are making it look more crowded than it actually is. And the idea was they were going to go in the big polytunnel if I managed to get the lid on in time. The lid, the roof, the plastic over the top of it. But I haven't done that, so these have just kind of stayed in here, and it's fine because they're still producing the fruit as I expect. This is a poblano in a 5 litre pot, and it's producing quite a large 1 or 2 fruits. It's not going to get many more, I don't think. But that one looks absolutely beautiful. That's perfect. We'll see how big that one gets. Now, the big success story in here this year is this one here, which is my Hainan yellow lantern. Now, this is the whole thing. It's very big. Last year I had one of these in a pot in one of my greenhouses, and if I was lucky, if I got probably 5 fruits off of it. But look at that. This one's really enjoyed it here. I don't know what it's planted on top of. I don't know what's down there. I do know that I dumped a pile of ash somewhere along here before I put the greenhouse up and spread it out. So maybe it's feeding into that. Who knows? Maybe that's the way forward. I'll experiment with that next year. At the back of it is this one here, which is Havana Gold. Now, this was one of the first ones to ripen last year, and it's been one of the last ones to get fruit this year, even though it's now growing. I think that's kind of a late season one. It's waited for the sort of cooler weather to grow. It didn't like the hot weather that we had in the spring. I've just seen another one of those little squashes coming. Awesome. Over here we have a guajillo. So this is one of the other guajillos, and this one's doing absolutely fine in the ground. Unlike the one in my small greenhouse across the way. And I don't know why that is. This greenhouse here doesn't have a door. So this is all open to the air. Maybe it's the air circulation. Maybe that plays a factor in it. Who knows? We'll see. At the back here, got my little Thai hot. These produce wonderful little fruits. Really nice, just for grinding up, turning it into a spice that you can shake on things. They're very easy to dry once they get going. Here's another one in these little pots. I don't know what that is. It's probably a Maruga scorpion, I think. It'll tell me on here. No, it's not. It's a Tabasco. Have we got any fruit on it? Oh yeah. There we have. Little Tabasco, but I don't think that one's doing too well. But it's right next to the door, so it's getting all the drafts. Maybe it doesn't like that as much. This is one of the other Chali Negros. And this is in the 5 litre pot. And it's also doing really well. There's another one over here. Somewhere. That's not it. It's definitely here. I can see it. It's fell over. It's fell over into the... You can see it's got 2 quite large fruits on it. Again, they're just in the 5 litre pots. So, yeah, they're liking that. One thing I haven't mentioned in my videos is my little bunchies. And this one here has some little fruits on it now. This is a Malawi bird's eye. And these all struggled a little bit earlier on in the season because they dried out very quickly one day. And I thought they were dead, but we managed to preserve them, cut off all of the dead bits. And I think this one grew back, as you can see there, the cut just at the top. That was all dead, so all of this is new growth that came back on it after I cut up all of the dead stuff. Just check it for moisture, it's actually feeling very good. And this one will shortly have fruit on it as well. I can see lots of flowers coming, lots of buds. Up here we have a puma. I thought, seeing as it was one of my favourite ornamental plants, that I would give it a go as a bunchie. And I'm seeing lots of little fruits coming on that as well. So that should be good. And up here I think is a Bengal Naga. So that's another Bengal Naga. I had a great success with the Bengal Naga last year. And here it is. Let's lift this one up. So this is my Bengal Naga bunchie. It's a lot bigger than that one. Got some really nice sort of fruits coming on it this year. Some not so nice ones and some really nice ones. But again, this is just an ongoing experiment. This one's actually looking for nutrients. I'll have to feed it the next time I water it. It looks like it's struggling a little bit. But that's fine, all the new growth is fine on it. Really good. This one was really badly infested with aphids last year as well. It got infested with aphids actually in the house. So God knows how that happened, but it happened. So we'll go along up to the back one, look at the ones over there, and then that'll be it. Now this greenhouse is really two greenhouses stuck together. There's a 6x6 and a 6x8, and they're just stuck together basically with tape, or they were stuck together with tape. They're now stuck together by a combination of gravity and the earth. This section here, I didn't have any chilies in at the start of the year, so all the ones in the big pots came out of the big greenhouse through by to make more space because it was getting a little bit overcrowded. And these ones in the 5 litre pots here came out of that one just to give me a little bit of space to get in and about the plants in there. But we'll start off with my cross in this allotment. So this cross in the pot, so this one in a different sort of environment in here. There's gaps in the windows in this greenhouse, so it's a little bit better ventilated than the other one. And this was the one where the first ripe one came off of. And it's got lots of fruit on it. Smaller fruit than on the other ones. It's not growing as, the fruit is big, as long and snaky, and if it does, there's probably like one in 10 are like that, and the rest of them are just, you know, normal size. But I'm really pleased at the way they've turned out, and I hope that as the generations go by, that it kind of retains some of this shape, because that's exactly what I was looking for. I wanted the sort of gnarliness of the dragon tongue with the sort of prolificness of the Takanatsumi. So, and I seem to have got that in spades, at least for the first generation, but hopefully that continues into the second. Next to it here we have the tricolour. That's the other one I was talking about, the other variegated one. And we've got some fruit on that one now. There we are. Nice little one. There's a bigger one that I can look at here. There we go. There we go. Nice sort of long, narrow fruit. Very, looks a little bit like the jigsaw. But again, it is a different plant. Maybe it comes off the jigsaw in some way. This one here is my Kashmiri Mirch, and the fruits on them aren't as big as they were last year, as they usually were. Even in the polytunnel last year, it had got a lot of fruit on it. There's lots of them on it, but in the polytunnel last year they were very big. I mean, they were sort of carrot sized and very nice. I've got 2 bags of these up the road, harvested at different times for making hot sauce with, that have been fermenting for almost a year. One of them's been fermenting for almost a year, one of them about 8 months. So I'll probably be making a hot sauce. The hot sauce videos are queuing up. I've got tons to do. Lots of hot sauces to make. This is a cayenne. Now, this one is weird. The cayennes are strange this year. Does that look like a cayenne to you? Does that look like a cayenne? I'll find one of the other ones. There you go. Does that look like a cayenne to you? I'm just not having great luck with these at all. I mean, last year it was aphids. This year it's deformities and deficiencies, I think. And this hasn't been a great plant since the start. I mean, it keeps falling over. That's why it's kind of grown in a strange way. It falls over. I tie it up. It falls over again. It's just not fantastic. The peri-peris have been good. I only showed you one peri-peri so far in this video, and that was the one that's had a little bit of aphid problems over in the small greenhouse. But as you can see, the fruits and the flowers on this one are coming thick and fast, as they are on this one. So this is one of the other peri-peris I have. Got quite a few of those. I kind of skipped over them in the big glass greenhouse there. There's a couple of them in there as well. But these ones are a lot better. And there are some really nice fruits in there somewhere, and I can't see them now. Ah, there we are. Let's see if we can focus on that. There we go. Yeah, I really like my peri peris. There's a bit of disaster with them last year because the seed that I had that was marked peri peri turned out to not be peri peri at all, or to be some sort of mad cross. That's another Puma. There's not any fruit on, well there is fruits, but nothing to write home about just yet. Wanted to talk about this one as well. This is a Fuego. Now Fuego is a F1 variety that you can buy. It's very cayenne-like and very chunky and beautiful and fruity and all that stuff, and it makes fantastic sauces and is very prolific. But this is F2 Fuegos, because I saved the seed from the Fuegos last year and grew them on just to see what would happen, and we're getting some really nice fruit that's not quite Fuego-like. It looks more cayenne-y. So it's probably taken on the more dominant genes of its original parents, which hopefully is more like cayennes, and this is going to produce better cayennes than the actual cayennes are doing this year. Over here we have my Padron. This is the good Padron that's actually producing fruit and flowers, and looks like it's going to continue doing so for the foreseeable future. This size here for a Padron is about where I would harvest it for using in tapas. Any bigger than that and it will start developing heat. So you want to take it at about this time when it's got maybe a little bit of heat in it, but not a lot. And it's a lot tastier and a lot more fun to eat for all the family. This is one I'm growing for the first time. This is Antep Acidoma. And yeah, I've heard that they look like sweet peppers, but they've got kind of like more a mild heat to them. And I wasn't expecting that. They look absolutely beautiful. Coco thinks I'm talking to him. This is a Basque chili. I'm growing this for the first time. This one had aphid issues. As you can see, you can always tell when there's been aphid issues. All this sort of dirt and detritus gets left behind by them. But the summer brought with it the predators, and the predators took care of the aphids, which is good. And I haven't even seen any slugs, but there you go, there's some slug damage. There's a slug hole in that one anyway. If you see a leaf like that, take it off. I generally do take them off. They don't do the plant any good. But I mean, with this one, it's not really going to make any much difference to it because it's already been decimated a little bit. But the fruits are okay. The fruits that were on it before the aphid infestation happened have carried on, and they're quite firm and heavy. I can feel them. They're not thin-walled. They're quite thick-walled fruits. I've never had Basque chilies before. I've never grown them before, but they look quite good. And I'm looking forward to tasting those when they ripen, because they look like they might be quite crunchy, tasty things. Now, of the ones that I moved over here, I haven't talked about the poblanos. This is one of the poblano plants, and we're getting really nice fruits on it. Nice big ones. They're not going to be competition winners or anything like that, but they're going to suit my purposes just fine. They'll dry up nicely for using in cooking. Here we have a red habanero, and the red habaneros are all doing really well. Last year they didn't do very well. In fact, no, the red habaneros did do quite well last year. It was the orange habaneros that I struggled a little bit with. But these ones seem to be quite prolific in terms of fruit, and there's still a lot of flowers to come. How many of them will come good, I don't know. I don't have any glass in this section of the greenhouse, and I'm going to need to fix that if I want any of these ones to ripen, so that's on the list of things to do quite urgently. There's another red habanero here, actually, in a 5 litre pot, and it also has some fruit on it, which is good. This one here, I don't know what this is. Another little 5 litre one, and I have misplaced the tag for it. No, I don't. I haven't. Here it is here. That is a datil. These were free seed. I didn't ask for these. They came free. If you order so much stuff from Baker Creek, you'll get a packet of free seed. Usually it's something like lettuce, but in my case, because I bought so many chilies, I got this datil as the free seed. So I'm interested to see what it's like. It wasn't one of my first choices. It wouldn't have been one of my first choices. I'm not a huge fan of non-red chilies. This here is a Ring of Fire. And that's probably the best example of Ring of Fire I'm going to get this year. And it's in this little 5 litre pot. I've got a 1 in an 11 litre pot over the other way, and its fruits kind of look a little bit like the cayennes over there, a little bit twisted. This is the other Montifar. This is the other Capsicum pubescens. And I don't see, oh I do, okay, this one, it does have fruit on it. There we go. It does have fruit on it. That's good. So at least I've got 2 of them that are fruiting. This is the other, this is a jalapeno early actually. And so much for early. It's way behind the other jalapenos. Yeah, there we go. Purple pumpkin. This one doesn't, it's got just as much fruit on it as the other one does, but it's a little bit bigger. And the fruit is smaller. Really nice, I really like them. Beautiful, beautiful little fruits. I'll probably taste one of these before they turn red as well. Before I taste them when they're ripe. Just to see, because wouldn't it be nice if they tasted amazing while they were still half ripe, before they were ripe, and you got to keep that lovely colour. If only. This is another cayenne, and the plant itself looks healthy. But the fruits again are these twisted, mangled things that don't look anything like the cayenne. And, you know, some of them look more like the long thin cayenne that you get, or Joe's cayenne, or whatever they're called, that I don't want to grow. I want the fat ones, and these aren't fat, and they're not going to get fat. So I'm quite disappointed by those. And I think that's about it in terms of, this is the other peri peri though. Peri peris are going great guns this year, so there'll be some nice sort of peri peri sauce at least. This one is a tricolour, so just like that one over there, this is the other one. These long sort of fruits, they're even better actually. This one's a lot healthier than that one. Much more healthy fruit and stuff. This plant here, I'm not going to talk about just yet. That's my secret cross that we'll talk about in another video. And here is my pink habanero. Now this one struggled at first because it had a bad infestation of aphids that nearly killed it. But look at that, look at the way it's recovered. These beautiful big fruits coming on it now. Lovely sort of healthy leaves. And you can see some of the damage that was done to it. There was slugs, there was aphids, there was everything. And a lot of the leaves were just rotting off at the bottom and fell out, so it took a bit of tidying up and clearing up, but we got there in the end, and it's made a fantastic recovery. So that's that for August anyway, for the beginning of August. So a lot of growth, a lot of things happening in July, including the weeds growing again and taking over everything. We'll sort that in the coming days. But yeah, so the next stage, we can't really be that far away from harvesting now. And I'm looking forward to that greatly, because it's been a long season, and having fought the aphids and Coco and yeah, I've fought the aphids and the pests and the issues that I've had this year with the chilies, and for them all to sort of starting to come good now, it's great, you know. It's like a great wait, and this is the most exciting time of the season, because now it comes down to what you're going to eat, what you're going to dry, what you're going to make spices from, what you're going to make sauces from, what you're going to ferment, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And I hope that you enjoy these videos enough to stick with me for that journey, because I'm hoping that you're going to find it just as interesting as I do. Thanks for watching.